Hello, my friends. I am Bentox, your resident Danganronpa 2 addict, and we're back. You might notice things are a little bit different. Last time I started my stream, I told you things were going to sound a little bit different. Today, things are going to look a little bit different. My new green screen finally came in, so I spent a little bit of time setting this bad boy up, and it looks great. It works perfectly. I'm so happy. My old one was good, but it wasn't perfect, and this one is easier to use. It looks better. I'm really excited. So I think going forward, you're probably not going to see so much of my background anymore. You're going to be seeing a whole lot more of me using the green screen, and especially for games like Elden Ring, Danganronpa, that kind of thing, I think that's going to work a whole lot better. That's also probably going to mean my layout, my overlay, if I'm ever doing like Fate. Maybe I'll look at changing that in the future, because now I'm not going to have myself in a little square someplace that's blocking off like a full chunk of the game. So I'll have to see. We'll figure things out, as they arise. But for right now, I'm just really excited. So I hope you guys have been doing well. Disclaimer, tonight, Hurricane Helene is hitting Florida, and I may just spontaneously lose power. With that said, we haven't had any rain literally the whole day, and I don't know if any of it is going to come, so probably not, but hey, it could happen. We'll see. Otherwise, though, that's pretty much it. We're gonna go ahead and jump in. So, we last did a stream a couple of days ago. A lot happened, as tends to happen on these streams. Trying to think where to begin. We learned what the motive that Monokuma was providing us was, and it was this arcade machine. Now, at the beginning of the day, we didn't know what was going on with that arcade machine. We didn't know why it was going to be important, but we did go and play it. And in playing it, we found a half-baked murder mystery story about a group of teenage girls in a high school, and one of their classmates was found dead, and then one of them ends up dead later, and that's it. And it was weird. And we were like, okay, whatever. And so we left. We go to hang out with friends. We spent a lot of time with Best Boy Gundam Tanaka. And then Soda, Kazuichi Soda, calls us and is like, hey, come and meet me secretly at a secret place at 2:30. And so we show up, and he's like, hey, the girls are going to the beach. Let's go peep on them. Which, alright, fine, we're gonna do that, sure. So we agree reluctantly to go do it. We go hang out at the diner, and then we meet up with a number of people. First, we spot, what's his name? Fuyuhiko Kuzuryu, who, as per usual, splits. And then we met with most of the female cast. We met with Mikan and Ibuki. Then we met with Chiaki. Then we met with Akane. Then came Peko Peko. And then finally Sonia. Nevermind. While this is all happening, we see Sayonji. The names are kind of coming back to me. We see Sayonji run away. She's crying, she's, sprinting away from the beach, and we're kind of like, hey, we don't care about her, so we're not gonna question it, and we move on. Until we actually get to the beach. And in the beach house, Kazuichi Soda screams, and then the body discovery announcement goes off. And god damn it, Mahiru is found dead. I am heartbroken because I really liked Mahiru and I was really looking forward to doing her free time. But I guess that's gonna have to wait until the post-game, because now it's time to discover who her killer is. So we go and investigate the crime scene. We find that she's been killed with a single heavy blow to the head using a steel baseball bat. We find that there's a lot of empty bottles of water in a trash can, which appear to have been taken from the fridge. We find that there's a closet in which a gummy bear is on the floor, indicating that Sayonji was in that closet at some point. We find an anime girl mask, which Sonia knows the character from but we don't really have any further context to go on than that. All we know is Sonia knows who this character is. We find... what else? We go into the shut off room for like the shower room and the bathroom, and the only real notable thing that we find in there is a window that is about 9 feet up and has a grate on it. But the grate can be moved, and so someone is capable of fitting through, but they would need a way to get to that height in the first place. So we haven't really pieced together how that comes into the picture yet. We found that Mahiru's body was against the door, as if she had been like crawling away after she had been struck, and then she finally passed away actually leaning against the door. And then... Yo, Denner, what's up?
Christine.
Ventos 2 ways.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the sub. And then finally we talk to Chiaki, who says, hey, this is oddly like the game, don't you think? And we're like, what do you mean? We didn't play the video game. That would be, you know, mean. That would be wrong of us to do. And she's like, yeah, cut the crap. I know you played the game. I played the game too. And I got the real ending. So we show up here, and of all people, Nagito is waiting for us. Just boom, Nagito jump scare, who Manami has let out of his bindings. And he's like, hey, I also got the true ending for the game. And so we go and experience the true ending of the game for ourselves, which further fleshes out the story of these 5 girls, basically indicates that one of them was being bullied by the victim, and so the other person went to harass the victim to try to stop them from bullying, you know, stick up for her friend, and in the process accidentally choked her out, and she passed out, and then in a fit of panic, the girl murdered the victim. Then she broke some glass and made it look like someone had, you know, come in and murdered and made an escape while she hid herself, basically. We also found that the culprit was then found out by the brother of the girl that she murdered. And in the 5th day, or in the 4th day, she herself was murdered by that brother, is kind of what we're getting at here. So that was a lot of stuff just happened. But then, the credits start rolling for this video game, this Twilight Murder Syndrome case video game. And it's like, lead writing, Monokuma, producer, Monokuma, graphics, Monokuma, programming, Monokuma, yada 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 yada, until it gets to the final credits for the cast. And in the cast, it lists in this order: Tsumiki, Koizumi, Hiyoko, Miyoda, Sato, Kuzuryu. Most of those names are names that we know. And then Monokuma pops up and says that this game is based on a real, factual story, and it is based on the school life that we no longer remember, that our memories were stolen from us. We also know that there was a prize given to the first person to complete it, which we as the audience know was Fuyuhiko. And finally, as we wrapped up our last stream, me, Chiaki, and Nagito are going to meet with the people who are named and get their side of the story. So the investigation phase is underway, but not complete. So, yeah, what the heck? This case is very convoluted. I'm gathering that they really are starting to jump some sharks with Danganronpa 2. Mahiru's accessory to the first murder, sorry, Girl D was, yeah, so we're, I wrote these out in the order that they were presented. I do not think that these necessarily correspond correctly, because Hiyoko definitely responded to Girl B, right? Like, Girl B was the short one who was mean and was calling her friend a bitch. Girl D is the one who had the camera, which we can assume probably means that was Tsumiki. Ibuki and Akane... No, Koizumi, I'm sorry. Koizumi, I think, is Mahiru's name. Yeah. Ibuki and Mikan don't really seem to have much actual involvement here. But Girl E is the one that we have the biggest question for, because Girl E is a name we don't recognize, Sato. We have 2 Kuzuryus. That question is pretty easy and clear to me because Fuyuhiko has mentioned having a younger sister. Now, Guy F murdered Girl D. No, murdered Girl E, who had been the person to murder his own sister. So this feels like a pretty clear parallel. Who is Girl E in this scenario? Is there a Sato in the first game? I don't think so. I don't recall there being a Sato in the first game. Now, my speculation, purely, out of nothing, is we might be looking at another instance of a character having multiple names. Specifically, Sonia Nevermind is the one who springs to mind here, like, a foreigner who is using a different name or something. That's possible. But otherwise, there's not really anyone that even has anything close to Sato in their name, unless this is some weird, like, katakana, hiragana thing that makes sense in Japan but doesn't really make sense to us here. I don't know. But for right now, the question still remains, how does this actually, practically speaking, tie in to Mahiru's murder? Because the circumstances of the death are similar but not exactly the same. In both the video game and in the real murder, the victim was killed with a single blow by a metal bat. Were posed in kind of the same way. But in this game, the victim was not the photographer, whereas in the real murder, she was. And so that's kind of where the parallels start to diverge. I'm kind of wondering right now if... I don't think Fuyuhiko's the murderer. That feels too easy and too direct. I feel like it's gotta be one of the gals.
Yep.
Okay, this is just her giving us the summary of the game. Now, if we're talking about it being one of the girls, the autopsy report said that she had died sometime around 3 o'clock, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, 3 o'clock. And I wrote down our timeline right up here. So at 3 o'clock, I arrived at the diner, and from 3 o'clock up through about 3:30, my character Hajime had eyes on the whole place. Oh, Senpapi, I've got some bad news for you. I'm sorry to say, a favorite is gone. What happened? Mahiru happened. Let me see. I think it already shows her being dead in here. Where is she? There she is. Mahiru dead. Who dared? Well, that's the question, isn't it? Right now, these are the clues that we've got. Shockingly, no Mikan embarrassing poses this time. There's a lot of evidence that I think points in specific directions, but none of it actually points at a specific culprit as of yet. So, what I was saying, from 3 o'clock So from the time that she was killed up until people started arriving, we were watching the entrance of the beach, and nobody came in or out. This game is terrible, true. Nobody came in or out. So the only people that we saw that have any degree of suspicion would be Fuyuhiko, who just completely vanishes while our attention is on Ibuki and Mikan. Saionji, who ran away crying from the beach. Peko Peko, who was just swimming for 3 hours. Maybe Sonia in her wetsuit. Those are the ones that, like, really have any degree of a spotlight on them. I think Ibuki and Mikan are kind of just ruled out on principle. I think they're good. I mean, it could technically be any of the other cast who is not accounted for. Basically, any of the male cast could have done this, if there is a way for them to get out of the beach house, or for them to hide inside the beach house while the investigation is going. Now, I don't think that that is likely, because we checked it out and there wasn't any spaces that, like, seemed a person could hide in, but someone getting away from the beach house makes a lot of sense. The reason I say this is there's only one set of footprints near the beach. The trail leads from the beach house and loops around toward the road. This, presumably, would be Saionji's footprints. She was one of the 3 people to discover the body and then ran away crying. Now, why is there only a set going out and not a set going in? Perhaps she was in the beach house when the murder happened and was the first person to discover the body afterwards, and she just immediately runs away. I think this makes sense because what I think happened is Saionji, Mahiru, and the culprit were in the beach house. They had already arrived. Saionji goes into the closet for whatever reasons, and she stays there for some time. While she is staying there, the murder happens. Or actually, let me take that back. I think she and Mahiru maybe went by themselves and the murderer shows up later. I think that makes more sense. The murderer shows up later. And while Saionji's in the closet, the murder happens. The murderer takes all of these bottles of water from the fridge and covers up the footsteps in the sand. She just, splashes the water on and washes away the footsteps. So as the murderer is leaving the beach, there's no sign of anybody having come or gone. All right. Then the murderer, I think, swims away, perhaps. We'll put that on for now. Murderer swims away. Saionji comes out of the closet and finds the body, screams, runs away. And that's where we get this one set of footprints leading out. Now, sometime later is when Soda gets there and discovers the body. And that's when the death announcement plays, which is suspect because how does a third person discover the body? Who could our third person be? I don't know. Perhaps the owner of the pretty anime girl mask? Sun Witch Esperito? Maybe. We don't know yet. Now, this whole thing with the shower room and the iron-barred window, that's going to be relevant as well. Then these last few things, these last 3 are related to the video game, and then the ending prize is the one that was given to beating the arcade game. We know that this was given to Kuzuryu, and we also know from our notes here that Kuzuryu was in the area and then left shortly thereafter. So, I think Kuzuryu is the third person to have discovered the body. Rather, I think that Kuzuryu was the first person to discover the body. It's possible that maybe even Kuzuryu did this instead of whomever the culprit was. Now, we also have to consider that Nagito is out of confinement and could be doing shenanigans again. I'm not about to rule that out, though I hope that is not the case. I think that there are 2 main things that we need to wait for to get more information on. Item number 1 is Sonia and what the deal is with this mask. Because Sonia was like, oh, I know this character, and then she was like, I need to go now, and she left. And that was a little suspect. So that's number one. Number two is what we're actually going to go discuss with all of the girls who were in the murder game. It was Gundy, Sanzi, Jumpy, Magazi, and I don't remember the other one. Was it Gundy? I don't remember. Nagito wouldn't do such a thing. Never. Never. So in the airport, we're gonna meet with most of the people who are referenced here. Ah, Hajime, over here. Mikan, Ibuki, Hiyoko are all here. One thing that I did note in this thing here is Hiyoko's the only person referenced by her first name. Tsumiki, Koizumi, Miyoda, Kuzuryu, these are all family names, and then Sato, we know nothing about yet. But like, it is conspicuous that Hiyoko's got her first name here instead of her last name. I don't know if that's gonna amount to anything, but we'll see. The names on the staff roll for Twilight Syndrome murder case were Tsumiki, Koizumi, Saionji, Miyoda, Sato, Kuzuryu.
Wow.
I really wanted Fuyuhiko to come too, but he locked himself in his cottage and wouldn't come out for me.
Sorry.
So unfortunately, he's absent. It's probably because I'm so incompetent. I apologize.
What?
Huh? It's okay to be absent? I thought you said we'd get executed if we didn't come. Executed? I mean, you said Monokuma had something important to tell us, right? We came because you told us that. Sorry, that was a lie. A lie? You tricked us. What the heck?
Jeez!
Fine then, I'm leaving.
Wait!
Can you just wait until we finished our business with you? Right, Hajime? This is like, I'm on the same team as Nagito. Oh, that crazy Nagito. What will he do next? No, I can't focus on that right now. I have to get information from them. Weren't Hiyoko and Mahiru becoming friends like last stream? Seems odd that Hiyoko would then kill her. Yeah, no, I don't think Hiyoko's the murderer. Hiyoko is definitely the second person to discover the body. Let's talk to the airplanes first. Whoops. Let's talk to Nagito first. Okay.
Well, jeez.
All right, I'm gonna go from right to left. I'm just gonna go from like lowest quality character to highest quality character. That's not fair. I can't believe you actually tricked us so we'd come to this place. I have nothing to say to impudent regular people like you. Regular, huh? She's right that I might be a regular guy, but I also have an ultimate talent. Or at least I should have one. My thoughts on this, by the way, I think Hajime might be the traitor and doesn't know it yet. Hajime might be like a second ultimate despair or something, and his memories of that have been stolen, perhaps. Hey, do you have a minute? There's something I wanted to ask you. Have you played Twilight Syndrome Murder Case, Mikan? No, since we said we weren't gonna play that game. Also, I'm not really good at video games. I'm pretty slow and I panic instantly. Her timid tone. I'm pretty sure the girl A character was like that too. Okay. So, Tsumiki is Mikan, I think. So we can leave that here. I'm just gonna go ahead and reorder these to what I think they actually are because it seems pretty clear at this point. Hiyoko. Girl C then must be... Well, you know what? Girl C and Girl E are still up for debate. Girl D is definitely Mahiru Koizumi. Girl E as Sato are... These two could be switched. So actually, Ibuki is not off the hook for anything right now, technically. Anyway, can you tell me about your relationship with Mahiru? Relationship? With Mahiru?
Well,
I first met her, when we gathered at the classroom with everyone else. And after arriving at the island, I did have a few conversations with her, but... Could it be? Did Mahiru hate me? That's definitely it. She hated me.
She doesn't know anything. No, more like she doesn't remember anything.
But even though she hated me, for her to actually invite me, she must have been a really kind person.
Invite.
Mahiru invited me this morning.
This morning?
She looked very serious, and she was wondering if we could all meet up so she could discuss something. But I already had plans to go to the beach, so I had to decline. I needed to prepare for that. And when I did, she made this lonely face and said that she'll reschedule for another day.
Okay, hang on. Thoughts are happening right now that aren't really related to what Mikan is saying. I don't really care about Mikan right now. So, my thought is, first of all, conspicuous that Mahiru's camera is not with her to me. I think that is important. But in Twilight Syndrome murder case, Girl D has her photos of the broken vase, which implicates Girl E. Earlier, before Mahiru died, Mahiru said that she had some business to attend to. And I'm wondering if she might have on her camera still had photo evidence of something that happened back before we had our memories stolen. Now, perhaps the 16th student in the class was Kuzuryu's sister, and maybe Kuzuryu's sister got killed in the course of, like, class events by accident, and maybe that's gonna be, like, why Hajime is here. Maybe, like, he was just, like, yoinked off the street because Monami was like, well, I need a 16th student, yoink. Not sure about that. My prediction for the second case was Mikan killing Saionji, with the reasoning being Mikan is totally the trope that's like quiet, shy person getting bullied, yep. Which would be useful when the writers hate Saionji and want her gone. Now with Mahiru being the actual victim, my Mikan culprit theory no longer really works, so I gotta make a wild new theory for a culprit. I think the only people that are, like, hard ruled out for this murder specifically are us, obviously, Kazuichi. Kazuichi is, like, 100% cleared, no ambiguity whatsoever. Ibuki and Mikan, I think, are both, like, gonna be a real stretch unless we learn about more ways out of the beach house. Especially because they would have had to, like, loop all the way around. And also, we're all both in their clothes and fully dry, so I don't think they could have swum around. Swam? I don't know why I always say swum. That's not a word. So that's a current speculation. Anyway, back to Mikan.
But if only I went with her, this wouldn't have happened. Ah!
Mahiru invited Mikan. Why? Hey Ibuki, can I ask you something?
Why, you?
Bring it on! Have you played Twilight Syndrome Murder Case?
Aw.
Well, that's a computer game, right? I'm basically awful at those things.
Guitar!
Ibuki's a tough girl, so I don't touch anything powered by electricity except electric guitars. I'm pretty sure that's a lie, but now's not the time to dwell on something like that. Her unique tone and hyper energy. There was a character like that in the game, too. Let me ask you one more thing. What's the relationship between you and Mahiru? Huh? You mean that in a perverted way? Dude, bi icon. No, in a normal way.
Aw.
Well, even if you ask me that, Ibuki's encounter with Mahiru was...
Oh!
When I asked Mahiru this morning to go to the beach with us, she made this real disappointing face. A disappointing face?
I see.
Yeah, but disappointment varies depending on the person. Ibuki associates it with department store rooftops. Let's stay focused on Mahiru.
That's totally it!
It turns out Mahiru had some business too, and she wanted to invite me to that instead. She said something like, I was thinking about meeting with everyone, but if you already had plans... You know what she meant by everyone?
Aww.
Nope, I didn't ask. I see. So let me go and review some dialogue here. I thought it was Mahiru's idea to go to the beach in the first place. Yeah, because Mahiru invited Mikan. I'm just gonna write some notes here. I think actually, wait, maybe I'm misremembering. I think it was Sonia's idea because that was what Kazuichi was all obsessing about. So, Sonia came up with the girls' beach day. Mahiru, let me say, Ibuki invited Mahiru to hang, but Mahiru had business, which she invited Mikan to. I need more from Saionji. I need to know what Saionji's involvement in this is. Yeah, okay, so Mahiru wanted to discuss things. Yeah, okay, I think I see where this is going. I think I was on the right track with Mahiru having evidence of stuff that happened in the past. Okay, so then Ibuki invites Mahiru to the beach. And Ibuki is turned down. Mahiru wanted Ibuki to go. Okay.
I see.
So Mahiru definitely needed to talk to the girls about something. Looks like we've obtained some pretty valuable testimonies. Based on that, it seems like Mahiru also beat that game. Why? Why do you know about that?
You don't know?
If she hadn't, she wouldn't have chosen these people to talk to. Because she beat the game, she talked to the people who appeared in the game. Just like what we're doing right now.
But still.
But in her case, it was much more serious. Probably. I mean, she was forced to learn that she was involved in that game.
That's true.
But I'm surprised. I never thought Mahiru would play that game.
It's true, that was unexpected. Nagito, didn't you tempt her into playing that game? No, sorry, Hajime. I always screw up Nagito and Hajime's, like, character voices. Just because they seem very similar to me, it switches over to his sprite and I'm like, ah, this must be Nagito speaking.
Huh?
Huh? I remember. Anyway, what happened to Mahiru? Did she leave saying she had some business to take care of? Huh? Why do you know that? That's right. Wait, you tempted her, right? Just like you did to me.
Don't mean.
Tempt? That's a rude thing to say.
No, that's wrong.
That's disrespectful toward Mahiru. There's that voice line again. No, that's wrong.
Isn't that right?
There's no way her feelings would change just because a useless guy like me tempted her. At that time, she was already considering giving that game a try. All I did was give her a little push.
It's obvious.
That's all it was. What the heck?
Well,
But more importantly, isn't it better if we listen to what she has to say? She's being quiet as ever. I'm counting on you, Hyoko.
hey,
If Mahiru spoke to everyone who appeared in that game, she should have talked to you too, right? Well, Hyoko?
She never talked to me at all.
That's weird.
Man, what a surprise. I didn't expect you to ask me such an easy question.
Bye.
So, I'm just gonna go back to my cottage now.
Hey, Hyoko. Ignoring my voice, Yoko ran away as though she were avoiding me. Looks like it's okay to say she ran away. Yeah, she's clearly suspicious. That's pretty much decided. Decided?
Now then.
Regardless, it looks like we're finished here, so why don't we part ways for now? There's still something I need to investigate.
Bye now.
I'll see you again later. Ah, hey! What the heck is his problem? Even his exit was pushy. Chiaki, what should we do? Should we go back to the scene of the crime one more time and investigate? It's very important to investigate the scene of the crime, but let's go over to Mahiru's cottage first. Mahiru's cottage? If she beat that game, it's best we investigate there, I think.
See?
She might have that. Yes. Oh, not the ending prize, no. If that's the case, I'll go with you. That's your cue to say yes. Design point about Chiaki that's like really minor, but I think it's very endearing. I love the fact that the eyes on her hoodie match her own eye color. That's just so cute. Her design is like peak cute. There's a lot of other characters in this game who I find very appealing visually for a variety of reasons. Like, I enjoy how exaggerated and big Nekomaru is. Teruteru sucks. Gundam's just amazing from top to bottom. I mean, Akane is Hina 2.0, and I liked Hina's design. I like a more wild Hina. Sonya's also pretty. She's just, to me, like, conventionally very pretty. Mahiru is very charming. I like a redhead. I like the freckles. Ibuki's just fun, dude. I freaking love Ibuki. She's so big. She's great. But, like, Chiaki, man, she just cute. She's so cute. Alright. Ibuki, anything else to say?
Hey, hey!
Okay, so we're just repeating dialogue. Okay. So, off to the cottages. So far, nothing that contradicts my general theorizing. Anyways, see my Mikan conspiracies above. Aha. That's my prediction about Mikan. 1, she gets killed. 2, she gets courage in some way and grows as a person, probably final survival material at that point. Or 3, she breaks and becomes a culprit. I think 2 is actually... there's a step further to be taken with that, which is maybe she does have that moment of like growth and she grows as a person, whatever, and maybe that's a heroic sacrifice in a class trial where she has that moment and she stands up for herself in the name of what's right, even though it's going to end badly for her, and that somehow ends up with her getting killed.
What happened?
I was wondering if it would let me go inside.
See?
Mahiru's cottage. It should be on this side and very back.
Directly across from Best Girl. Man, they really clumped, like, the best girls together, didn't they? I guess Akane's a little further out. Yeah, I would probably move Saionji over here, move Akane right there, maybe move Chiaki here and Sonya there. Otherwise, it's fine. Literal muscle memory going to Ibuki's cottage instead of Mahiru's. Whoops. The door looks unlocked. Moving after you're told would be too third-rate, so I made sure to be one step ahead. However, removing what's inside is a huge no-no. There are others who want to investigate too. I guess I should go inside. So we can't take anything out, but we can go in and check it out. Okay, so I don't care about the prize. I'm looking for the camera. There it is, there it is. I see the camera. Hey, Monokuma. Compared to my room, the cottage had a somewhat pleasant smell wafting through the room. That proves Mahiru was here. That's a weird thing to say, Hajime. But she's not coming back. Then I should
See?
try looking for a naughty book.
Chiaki?
Yep.
Now, I was only kidding.
Are you that kind of person? Geez, well, at least I don't feel so nervous anymore. Wait, could that be the reason she said that?
See?
But it looks like we don't need to search for it. Check out that thing on top of the bed.
On top of the bed? That is not what I am interested in. I am interested in these cameras. These photos, Mahiru must have taken them. She probably developed them at the supermarket. Even in this situation, there's a lot of photos of smiling people. Is that because of her personality? It's not gonna let me check the camera specifically, damn.
No.
Alright, we'll check the envelope. Chiaki's a gamer, so she's definitely that kind of gamer. She has said that she likes all games, so if she has played some adult-only games, I wouldn't be too surprised. She also specified even bad ones, so, you know, you draw your own conclusions. There's an envelope on top of the bed.
Hey.
Could it be? This might be it. The ending prize Monokuma gave to the first person who beat that game. What's inside the envelope? Let's find out.
I turned over the envelope and what came falling out was... Drumroll please, a few photos.
This photo.
Okay. Nothing really outstanding about this, except that it is probably from the before times. Everyone's in a different outfit, and once again, I need to call attention. I'm gonna hide the notes here for a second. I need to call attention to a bit of character design. Check out these rad thigh highs, dude, with the bones. Yo, man, Ibuki's sense of style does not miss. Ibuki's so cool. Also, does she have this this bracelet in her in-game model? I haven't seen it yet. I need to double check for that, but like, man, dude, Ibuki's so good. This is a photo of Mikan, Ibuki, and Hiyoko in what appears to be some sort of entrance hall. It's just like that game. There was a similar scenario during the first day in Twilight's True Edition. Girl B was in a bad mood because Girl A was late, and Girl D tried to cheer her up by taking a picture. Was it... Girl B was in a bad mood because Girl A was late, and Girl D tried to cheer her up by taking a picture. Okay, yeah, that tracks.
Look at this photo, too.
A broken vase. Okay. Is that the same photo Girl D showed Girl E on the third day? Okay. As I recall, a broken vase was in the classroom next to the music room. Oh my god, is the music room from the first game finally gonna become relevant? I made a comment about this like 3 streams ago, about how I was disappointed in the first game, that like every single room was meaningful. Every room had some sort of clue, or a murder took place there, or an impactful scene took place there, but the music room just flat didn't, ever. The music room never mattered in Danganronpa 1. Is this gonna actually retroactively fix that? If so, I'm gonna be really excited. If this canonically is gonna take place in the music room in Hope's Peak Academy, I'm really excited.
But still,
But this photo is more shocking.
As Chiaki showed the photo to me, I was stunned into silence. Okay, hang on a second here. Pull up, okay. 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 It's not Sonia, so that's definitely Kuzuryu's sister. I was like, this character looks very similar to Sonia, but I wasn't sure if that's just limited range of character designs or if there was meaning behind that, but I don't think so. I think that this just is Kuzuryu's sister.
This is an actual photo of a dead body. Since there's a piano behind the body, it looks like it's in the music room. If that's the case, could this be the photo of the first victim?
You mean the victim of the murder that occurred on the first day?
Oh.
Yeah, the one they blamed on a pervert.
High school girl's crime scene photo has been added to truth bullets. Okay. And one more. This is the last photo. I want to check the text on this truth bullet. One of the ending prizes is a crime scene photo of the victim after she was killed in the music room. So how did Fuyuhiko get a hold of this? Because Fuyuhiko had this at some point. When did Fuyuhiko have this? Fuyuhiko had this... after we explored the new island. Okay, interesting. Okay. I think I'm seeing where we're going here. We're gonna keep going. Okay. Got it. Ugh. This is probably the photo of girl E after she got killed on the 4th day. I mean, it nearly matches her body in that game.
See?
Yeah, there's no mistake. This is a photo of Girl E.
Girl E's crime scene photo, okay. 2 dead anime girls. If you have never seen the YouTube video, The Count Censored, I highly recommend it. Very funny. With that, we've finished looking at all the photos. So based on all of these photos,
Yeah, it seems pretty clear. This is the ending prize.
okay. Okay, so let's pull up our handy dandy notebook. Have to find my mouse, okay. Ending prize contain the following. Ending prize, which was in Mahiru's room, contained the following. 1, photo of Ibuki, Mikan, Saionji. 2, photo of broken vase. 3, photo of probably Uzuryu's sister. 4, photo of probably Sato. Okay. So how does this lead to Mahiru getting murdered? So, from what we're getting here, Kuzuryu's sister was bullying... I'm gonna write this down just to keep my thoughts straight. I might delete this later. Kuzuryu's... Actually, I'll say Fuyuhiko, because they're both Kuzuryu's. Fuyuhiko's sister bullied Mahiru. Sato killed Fuyuhiko's sister. Fuyuhiko killed Sato. Mahiru gets the prize and confronts Fuyuhiko, maybe? I just don't think Fuyuhiko's good for this murder. Seems too easy. But the theoretical train of thought here is Mahiru confronts Fuyuhiko and says, like, I'm going to tell everyone that you killed someone who was formerly our classmate. Now, what's really interesting here is if we've lost Sato and Fuyuhiko's sister, that opens the door for 2 empty chairs in the class. So what if that's why we have Nagito and Byakuya? Because we needed to fill those spaces. So that's a thought. Why would Saionji be stonewalling us? All right, let's keep moving on and see if any more clues emerge. We still need to learn what's up with the anime girl mask. Hang on, no, I'm gonna come back to this later. I'm gonna do my theorizing later. Proves that Twilight Syndrome murder case is based on an actual murder. Does that mean the stuff about our memories being stolen? What's this? Is there something else? There's a note inside the envelope. Oh yeah, we do in fact get more clues. Try playing Twilight Syndrome Murder. After you get a game over, press down 5 times the real game. Once you do, you should remember what you all did to my sister. We'll talk then. I'm gonna just write the contents of this note down real quick. I'm gonna put it up here. I'm gonna put my speculation in brackets here, just so that I don't forget that it's speculation. Okay. Down 5 times for the real game. Okay, so obviously Fuyuhiko knew about this. Okay, so first of all, I don't like knowing that Ibuki would have participated in the cover-up of a body being found. That does not make me happy. But maybe that, you know, innocent until proven guilty, right? How did Kuzuryu know about this? Did he... Yeah, he must... So, okay. Let me check my timeline of events again. I happened to write down both of these things, but which one did I write down first? Fuyuhiko had an envelope of some kind as he's heading off. I thought to the arcade machine, but this appears to not have been correct. I assumed he was going to the arcade machine, but we now know in retrospect he probably was already at the arcade machine. So instead of heading off to the arcade machine, he was heading to Mahiru, who I happened to write down as the very next thing that she had some business to attend to. So Fuyuhiko at this point goes to Mahiru, gives her this note, as well as the envelope in general. That's when she goes to do this and finds out what's going on. So she now realizes that she and the other girls were involved in the discovery of Fuyuhiko's sister's body, who was murdered by Sato. She also learns that Fuyuhiko, it looks like, actually murdered Sato. So she and I'm assuming Saionji probably gets in on this at some point here. And so I'm thinking the murderer probably framed this to look exactly like Fuyuhiko did it by being able to point to it and say, look, we have evidence that Fuyuhiko did this in the past. We have evidence that Fuyuhiko murdered somebody by hitting them with a baseball bat in the past. And so it's not unreasonable for him to do it again. That's where I think this is going. Mikan? It can't be anybody outside the circle now. It has to be Saionji. Hello? Ibuki rocking Miyota. Yo! What is up, Ibuki rocking Miyota? Thank you for the follow. Definitely my favorite new follow name that I've gotten in a while. Welcome to the channel. Blanket spoiler warning here. Senpapi, if you're still around, if you don't mind pinning something in the chat, I would appreciate it. But I'm completely blind as far as the game goes. I don't know anything about the story. I don't know anything about the characters beyond what I've already experienced. So I like to try to puzzle things out myself and get things wrong and, you know, ride through it completely blind. So please do your best to avoid spoilers. My mods are on the lookout for anything and will be acting on my behalf there. Personally, I think it was Teruteru. Yes, definitely. All right. So I really think it has to have been someone inside the circle, though. So at this point, I really think that our list of suspects goes to Fuyuhiko, Ibuki, Saionji, Mikan. It really has to be one of these four, I think. We'll have fun on the super crazy ride of Danganronpa, thank you. The first Danganronpa was just such a blast for me. I had so much fun doing it, and have been very eager to start the second. And it's not disappointing so far. I'm loving the characters. Ibuki actually is my favorite character so far in the Danganronpa series. I am having so much fun with her. So I don't like that I have to include her on this list of suspects here, but right now my current list of suspects really has to be taken down to these four. Now, I really don't think it can be Saionji, if only because of the way that the murder announcement played. We are aware that Soda was the third person to discover the body, which means there are two people who discovered the body first, and questionably one person who is the murderer. I'm gonna check our rules real quick. Regulations here. Do we have one that specifically dictates as soon as 3 or more people discover a body for the first time? I don't think that would include... I don't think that would include the murderer. And so it would be very, very weird if Saionji was the murderer, because that would mean there's 2 unaccounted for discoverers, whereas if she is one of those discoverers, then there's only 1 unaccounted for discoverer. And oh no, I don't like what I'm doing here. I really don't like what I'm doing here, because my logic is narrowing things down. If we think that Soda was one of the discoverers, Saionji was one of the discoverers, and I really strongly suspect that Fuyuhiko was one of the discoverers, that means that our murderer has to be either Ibuki or Mikan, and that does not square with our timeline, because Ibuki and Mikan were the first people to arrive at the diner. I'm walking myself into a logical contradiction here. Unless... Damn it. Unless we become aware of anybody else knowing what's going on here, unless somebody else played the game, Nagito played the game. Nagito knows the answer. So Nagito could be screwing her things around again. That's possible. Heck, Nagito could be one of the people who discovered the body, actually. But no, would he... I feel like he wouldn't... Gosh, this is tough. Okay, we're gonna keep moving on. We're gonna keep moving on for now. I need to know if anybody else knew about this.
Wait.
Maybe the
Time
first
out.
person to beat the game and receive the ending prize wasn't Mahiru.
Someone else sent this to Mahiru, and that person is the one who actually received the ending prize. We know who this is. Mahiru wasn't just lured there by Nagito, she also received the envelope.
Yep.
And that's why she played the game, right?
Then the person who played this game first is, obviously, Fuyuhiko.
Hey.
I'm glad we came here to investigate. Because we did that, we discovered a very important clue.
Yeah, I agree, but there's still one thing left. We have to figure out who actually killed Mahiru, but there's not much time left. I need to hurry. Where is Mahiru's camera, dude? This is probably just me obsessing over a minor detail, but like, man. There's nothing on Mahiru's camera that matters. We really murdered a photographer and are not using her photo, her most recent photos as a clue. Nagito, oops, I swapped one of the names in my game prize. Clumsy me. Unless Byakuya culprit theory. I like you, Kane, as CE. You get me. Hajime and Chiaki, what a coincidence. If something happens twice, third time's the charm, so they say. What coincidence? Are you a stalker or something?
Now.
Don't say that. I was just thinking about filling you in on the results of my investigation.
Bow to me.
I'll let you know if you drop to your knees and lick my shoes. Just kidding, I was joking. It didn't sound like a joke to me.
Actually,
Well, it's about the footprints, okay? The killer left their footprints in front of that beach house, right? Did you find out whose footprints they are? If you want to know, I highly recommend you come to the beach house with me. With you? Of course, you'll come with me, right? I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, but if I can get a clue... What are you gonna do, Chiaki?
I'm gonna try to talk to Fuyuhiko and see if he can tell me anything. So I'll leave this to you.
yep.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. If someone like me tried to talk to him, it'd be impossible, but it might be different with a girl. Just be careful that he doesn't get rough with you.
Yep.
I guess this is where we part. I'll see you later, Hajime.
What?
Did you actually want her to stay? Actually, what do you mean?
Bye now.
Let's go. I'll go on ahead to the beach house and wait there. Alright. He's got clues about the footprints. I'm assuming that he's gonna validate my theories right now. I really just don't see any way that those footprints don't belong to Saionji. Oh, let's check on our Tamagotchi. I've got a maximum hope baby Tamagotchi, and I need to see what it's gonna evolve into. But I don't want to let it get any despair. I'm probably gonna break for water in a little bit here. Come on, that didn't count as in steps? There we go. Alright, so what do we got? Oh, that's right, cocoon phase. I forgot about the Metapod phase. Tamagotchi used Harden. Best episode of Pokemon there ever was. Breakthrough 5,000 total steps. Walking the walk. Not sure if you saw one of my comments earlier, but I realized one of the decor in the pet room is pretty pudgy princess that DR1 Hifumi obsessed over. Really? That's a nice little Easter egg. Hang on. Oh, it is. You're right. I would never have remembered that detail. That's a cute little Easter egg. I like that a lot. Man, the pharmacy really not coming into play here, huh? Alright, to the diner. Only just realized that now. Yeah, that's very niche background information. Yo, best boy Gundam Tanaka. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Gundam, but I'm gonna need water before I do that, so we're gonna take a little pause. I'll be back in just a minute. We'll talk to Gundam, and then we'll solve the answer to this this whole murder. I won't even need the trial, because I'm just gonna get it right first try. I'll see you guys in a minute. Alrighty, friends, we're back. To begin, cheers, Canis. Alright, what does Best Boy Gundam Tanaka have to say to us?
So you have appeared.
I was right.
Huh?
What happened, sinner?
I already assumed you would come here.
Fine.
There is nothing you can hide from me, the Supreme Overlord who wields the 4 Dark Devas of Destruction. Thus, I know everything. For instance, I happen to know you fiends
I can see it!
were preoccupied with your infantile beach play.
Nature. the
It
collective
matters not.
will of the world.
But what I love is silence and solitude. That's right. That's it. That's precisely it.
So he wanted to be invited too. Aw, buddy. I want you to know, Gundam. I was literally in the middle of my free time and planning to come hang out with you. I even had gifts to give to you when I got functionally kidnapped by Soda. If you want anyone to be mad at, go get mad at Kazuichi, because he's the one who did this in the first place. This is all his fault. Poor guy. Man, he's so good. Nobody hanging out at the diner? Alright. Yeah, I'm really hesitant to think that Fuyuhiko is the culprit here. That seems like an Occam's Razor type of conclusion, but it feels too easy for me. Alright. Last time we got a snake. What do we get this time? Oh, an angel! Usami. Cute. I wonder if that's because I had all the hope.
Now then.
And the snake is probably because I had no hope at all. Gundam is such an innocent soul. Innocent? That's what you think until he gets pointed out as the culprit in a murder. Nagito? Whoa! Whoa! Oh, why the hell are you here?
Hello there.
Why, hello there, Kazuichi. Thanks for going easy on me earlier. Thanks to you, I was able to walk away with just mild bruising. You clearly think like an ultimate.
What the heck?
Ugh, this bastard.
You two have arrived at a good time.
Big news!
I have discovered something very terrible.
Dude, she's awesome too. All of these characters rock, man. I love the cast of this game. A terrible discovery.
Not only that. I believe it's nothing like Sonia's, but there's something I noticed too.
You too, Mikan. Yep, this is great. It looks like this investigation's reaching its boiling point. Just checking if there's anything else that I missed here. All right, I'm very curious about what Sonia has to say. Last time we talked, she ran away because of this mask.
Big news!
Listen, I have big news. Huge, huge news.
What's the big news?
See?
Remember that Sunwitch Esper Ito mask that was next to Mahiru's body?
Oh my god, first we got Ibuki in the chat, and now I have Monokuma himself? I am truly blessed this day. Ah, death. Such a cruel yet arousing thing. What's up, Monokuma? Welcome to the channel. I am honored. I am humbled. Let me just once again reiterate, no spoilers, please. I am completely blind, and I want to know nothing in advance. I want to draw my own conclusions and figure things out my own way, and if that means I get things completely wrong, then let that be the case. None from this despairful mouth. You're the best bear in existence. Thanks, Monokuma.
The mask the killer used to hide their face.
Listen!
No, that is not correct. That mask was not just used to hide their face.
Then what was it for?
Well?
Sparkling justice.
Okay, hold up. I'm assuming this is not the case, but I've gotta know. Let us consult the notes. Bring this up so we can see it a little easier. Is this the same as what we were talking about in the library? Yes, it is. So this is going to tie into the serial killer who calls themselves the Ally of Justice, Sparkling Justice. Interesting. Sparkling Justice is a serial killer and self-professed ally of justice whose name makes mankind shudder. They wear a hero mask at all times. Supposedly they are a serial killer who only murders other criminals. Okay, I will not take Mahiru slander like this. Excuse you.
That is an order!
Do not look so disappointed, Hajime. You need to be surprised.
Hey.
This Sparkling Justice character, that's the serial killer you were talking about earlier, yes? It's true that the mask we found is a hero mask, but
Wow!
it's a heroine mask to be precise. Sun Witch Esper Ito is a pretty witch girl. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring this down here. This is my list of suspects currently, Fuyuhiko, or not suspects, but people who I think are even remotely eligible. So, Fuyuhiko, Ibuki, Saionji, and Mikan. Of those two, Saionji and Fuyuhiko I don't think are good for this crime. Sonia ties the mask to the serial killer Sparkling Justice. Okay. See? A heroine!
Anyway,
So you're saying it's possible that this serial killer is the one who killed Mahiru?
Which means there's a serial killer hiding among us. I'm pretty sure I've seen a twist like this in some video game. Yeah, some video game. Nagito. Sure, whatever you say. So current speculations here for the people who are just joining us for the first time. I think that Nagito is actually Naegi from the first game. And I think that he got cracked somehow. I think that this must be a direct sequel to the first game, given, the fact that Byakuya exists and is no longer with us. I have no idea. I can't even begin to speculate why Hope's Peak Academy is on this island all of a sudden. Unless it's not all of a sudden, unless it was on an island from the beginning of Danganronpa 1. I also have no idea who's controlling Monokuma or Monami. There's no clues whatsoever for that for me so far. I did note at some point earlier that someone speculated that Monokuma was being controlled by an old man. Hajime. Hajime speculated that Monokuma might be old. But that's really flimsy. We also know about World Ender. That's about it, though. So the wider mystery is still very much a mystery. This is stupid. Serial killer my ass. The killer just used it to cover their face.
That's weird.
But even so, they sure chose something that stands out. That might be true, but
however,
Although it's easy to write this off as foolish, it might be best if we exercise some caution.
old? So over 30, Kappa. Look, my 30th birthday is coming up, so I will not take this slander. I will not be old.
Sonia, can you tell me everything you know about this so-called Sparkling Justice?
as the light of justice shines upon my mask, I expose the hearts of malevolent evil.
The hell?
Justice complete! The center of justice that is pierced by justice! The lead star of justice that shines in the night sky!
This is the most voice acting we've gotten from Sonia.
That would be me! Sparkling Justice!
What the heck was that?
Well,
That is Sparkling Justice's catchphrase.
That's a long-ass catchphrase.
what?
An unknown serial killer has a catchphrase.
Do you have a minute?
I read it in a magazine at the library. There has only ever been one person, a journalist, who has interviewed Sparkling Justice. The article was written in their native language, so I tried translating it.
However,
In the end, that journalist was punished by Sparkling Justice too.
No good can come from getting involved with a serial killer.
The serial killer might not want to hear that from you. This is all I know about Sparkling Justice. Thanks to the masks, nobody knows their true age or gender, making them a very mysterious individual.
Another thought occurred. I was sitting here. Very often I'll be reading and my brain kind of goes on autopilot and I'll be vocalizing whatever's on the screen, but my brain is somewhere else. And my brain was pondering the truth bullets that I've received. And, you know, all of these ones from the game make sense. Like, I understand why the broken fish tank, why the killer's escape route, why the ending prize, the vase, all of this makes sense. But why the swimsuit? Why Girl E's stolen swimsuit? And it's because, supposedly, a pervert stole Girl E's swimsuit. Obviously, we're drawing a lot of parallels to the real world. So, Girl E, we think, is this Sato character. Did someone steal Sato's swimsuit? Or is this a reference to someone else's swimsuit that might have gotten stolen? And if so, my thought was Ibuki and Mikan were the first two people to show up, and they were the only ones who we did not see in swimsuit sprites, because they said that they were wearing their swimsuits underneath their regular outfits. Perhaps that's not true, and that's a clue somewhere there. That was my first thought, but I think I've kind of trailed off of that. I feel like I'm reaching. I feel like that's a stretch, so I'm gonna take a step back from it. Hey, isn't that a stretch to say that there's a serial killer hiding in our group?
Listen!
No, it does not mean they are in our group. It is possible the serial killer was lurking on this island all along before they decided to murder Mahiru.
Wow.
That's probably not possible.
But that is the only thing I can think of. I mean, no matter how much I think about it, I simply cannot believe it. That one of us is capable of committing such a horrible murder? No matter how much I think about it, I simply cannot believe it.
Sonia. I do understand Sonia's feelings, but it's highly unlikely there's a serial killer hiding on this island. Okay. I think it was Peko who was in the library with us when Sonia brought this up in the first place. Peko murderer? That is, like, on my B tier of theories right now. A tier is still that list that I had before, but B tier, I'm seeing Peko as a possibility. Alright, Mikan, what do you have to say?
Well, compared to the others, what I have to say isn't that important. So please don't get your hopes up and be disappointed.
I get it, so just get on with it.
I tried my best to perform the autopsy and I was able to find out Mahiru was definitely killed by a blow to the head. She was probably struck from behind by one blow. Based on the scar, the weapon is clearly the metal bat.
Okay, that gets added to the notes.
But every dark cloud has a silver lining, as they say. It looks like Mahiru didn't suffer.
Okay. Yep, okay. That is exactly what I wanted to know. That is exactly what I wanted to know. Mahiru died instantly. What does that mean?
There's no doubt that she died instantly.
Okay. Big. Really big. Mahiru struck from behind and died instantly, which means she cannot have crawled to the door and leaned against it. She was posed like that deliberately. Now, that does not 100% necessarily mean that it was the killer who did this. It could have been Saionji, who was hiding in the closet, or who was otherwise in the closet at the time. So, I have two branches of theory. Theory number 1 is the killer did this because they're deliberately trying to make it look like Fuyuhiko murdered Mahiru and then replicated the pose that his sister was found in. That's theory 1. Theory 2, the killer was actually just Fuyuhiko and did that. Theory 3, Saionji dragged Mahiru like that in order to check if she was alive and then set her there and then ran away crying, screaming. I don't think that makes sense, though. 40 turns on the Charlotte Super Recollection. Who thought that was a good idea? I'm gonna be honest, after the first set of Super Recollections for Lost Belt 1, I just stopped doing them. They are not fun, and I'm not about to waste my time on something that's just not fun. Her death was instant. That sounds a little strange. I think I'd better remember that.
And there's another thing I found. I'm sorry, I started talking on my own. Were you busy right now?
Just tell me.
During the autopsy, I discovered this in Mahiru's pocket.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna remove my notes from the screen so that you guys can read that in full right now as I read it out. It seems there's someone who wants to interfere with our meeting. Let's keep it a secret. Until then, let's try not to see each other for a while. It would be bad if they started suspecting us for no reason. Hiyoko Saionji. What does this mean? I'm not seeing any major discrepancies with the handwriting. But I'm not taking this for granted that it was actually given by Saionji. Saionji, and let's assume that this is real. Let's assume that this is legitimate. Oh, hang on, there's actually more to it that's not shown here. I was going to tell you this in person, but I couldn't find you, so I put this in your mailbox. About what we discussed earlier, is it okay if we change the place and time? Okay, hold up. Okay. Hold the phone, I need to write this down. About what we discussed earlier, is it okay we change the place and time? I want you to come to the beach house on the second island at 2:30 p.m. And then we get the text. It seems there's someone who wants to interfere with our meeting. Let's keep it a secret until then. Try not to see each other for a while. It would be bad if they started suspecting us for no reason. Hiyoko Saionji. This letter.
If this letter is real, it would mean Hiyoko met up with Mahiru, right? Plus, Mahiru's estimated time of death was around 3 o'clock p.m., and they met 30 minutes prior. If we think about what that implies, then I'm starting to get confused. If it's true, then what does it mean? What happened between Mahiru and Hiyoko? Okay, there's more. Peko?
See.
Sparkling Justice is a serial killer who randomly appears and claims to be an ally of justice.
No.
Although it's easy to write this off as foolish, it might be best if we exercise some caution.
I'm gonna go back in the closet. Hello, Nagito. You are not who I wanted to find in here. I don't feel safe, okay?
That's weird.
This closet. Is it really okay to think it's just been carelessly managed? I don't know why, but I feel like it's a little suspicious. The surfboards, which are disheveled. Now that you mention it, I feel the same too. It's the surfboards. It's definitely the surfboards.
This is...
The surfboard that's on the second shelf. It's just an empty surfboard case. Looks like it was put away carelessly. Can we really assume this is just careless management? What do you mean? Well, I don't... Man, wow, the typos in this game. I don't recall pointing out so many typos in Danganronpa 1. This is the third one that I've spotted. I don't know why, but I sort of feel like it's a little suspicious. Suspicious, huh? Now that you mention it, I sort of feel the same too. Okay, this is definitely lending credence to my theory that that the culprit swam their way away from the island. Flotation devices, snorkels, nets, there's some paint supplies too, not much else here that could be related to the incident. And then of course we have the gummy. Is there anything else that I can... Check the camera, but I don't think that's going to yield results. So I guess I'm probably not getting a truth bullet out of it, but I really, really think that this is suspicious here. I am very firmly under the impression that whoever the culprit is, they used the water bottles to cover their tracks in the sand and then swam away and rejoined on a different shore.
Oh my.
Miss Sonia, she looks strangely excited. Awesome. That's like a powerful Gap Moe. Man, I don't really get it, but nice one, princess. That Miss Sonia is something else. Tell me what you know already. Did you find out whose footprints those were? Actually, how were you able to find that out? After listening to everyone's story at the airport, I went to a certain place. Well, it's probably better to say I snuck in. To everyone's cottages. Everyone's cottages? I told Monokuma I needed access for the investigation, so he simply let me in. That bastard, he did something shady again.
then.
But why did I do something like that? Well, I'll explain my reasoning to you. Nagito squatted down near the entrance to the beach house and began to spread some papers he was holding.
See?
Come on, Hajime, take a look. After all, I went through all the trouble of gathering all this. Those footprints. I see, so the reason you snuck inside everyone's cottages was...
Yep.
That's right, I wanted to get a sample of everybody's footprints. But unfortunately, Fuyuhiko wouldn't leave his cottage, so I couldn't complete it. Well, I guess it's no big deal. It seems obvious that the footprints belong to this person. Whose footprints are they? Sayonji's. Yep. I knew it. It's obvious.
Well...
To be honest, the reason I summoned her to the airport was so I could lure her out of her cottage. She shut herself inside her cottage, remember? If she stayed there, I couldn't sneak in.
Perhaps...
So I figured if I lured her out, she wouldn't be in a hurry to get back to her cottage. They're treating her like a small animal. But it was totally worth it. The footprint I collected there was smaller than anyone else's and matched the footprints at the beach house. Yep, there's no mistake. Those are Hyoko's footprints. All right. Hold up. Human proportions real quick. Human proportions. Where's Sayonji? 4'2", okay? 5'1", okay. I buy it. I was gonna say if the two of them were similar in height, their footprint size might be about the same. But I think that's what, like an 11-inch difference? I don't feel like they'd have similar sized footprints. I just got the joke. Fuyuhiko dislikes milk, that's why he's so small. That's funny. Also, it's not like I was snooping around or anything, but I found something really interesting at her cottage. Something interesting?
See?
Gummy candy! Am I doing it right? Am I doing the YouTuber thing right? Oh my god! This means that the candy that was in the closet belonged to Saionji. No person could have guessed that. They're gummy candies that come in 4 different flavors. Strawberry, melon, grape, and orange. Looks like she got it from the supermarket. Apparently she really likes this brand of gummies. Really, no lemon? Boo. There should have been other gummy brands, but she only brought home a bunch of these. Actually, hold up. Am I onto something? Strawberry would be red, grape would be purple, orange would be orange, melon would probably be green? But like, I don't know. This might be a cultural thing. I think of melon as green, but like cantaloupe, the actual, you know, fruit part of it is orange. I don't think there's any like yellow melons, right? I don't know. Is someone actually trying to frame Saionji here? People are like that sometimes. There are people who will only eat the same brand, even if it's just potato chips. I mean, that's valid. That's especially valid with gummy bears. I mean, Haribo gummy bears are very different than that other brand that has like the red text on the white label. I don't remember what the brand is, but like those are very different. I prefer Haribo. Well, what's wrong with that? Well, it's not clear if this relates to the incident, but I thought I should tell you just in case. Just in case. Coming from this guy, that means it probably greatly relates to the case. I like the red label ones. What? Can someone tell me what those are? Mostly for the texture? See, that's why I like Haribo, actually. The red label ones are a little bit less firm, where the Haribo ones, like, they're firm. Okay, so the gummy flavors are included here. And that's the end. That's our evidence gathering phase.
The time for unparalleled hedonism has come to an end. Come, now is the time to fight the decisive battle. The hostility of fresh blood, the insanity of a contest of wits. The class trial is finally raising its curtain.
Albany's,
so
that's right.
meet up in front of Monokuma Rock. Once you're there, please proceed to the underground by taking the elevator located at the secret entrance. I'll see you soon!
Man, I am hungry.
Now then.
You know what? Hang on. There we go. I have a granola bar, which is perfect because once the trial starts, I can just sit back and let the game do the talking for me. Whoops, I accidentally had it on auto. Hold up. Looks like it's time. I guess the investigation is over. So it's finally starting. The class trial where our hopes and the killer's hopes will finally clash. But it's all right. Either way, hope will win in the end.
All right.
Now then, let's go prove it. What's he so excited about? There's no reason to respond to a guy like that. Anyway, we should start heading over. At the trial where Monokuma is waiting, I have to make my case
There
there.
is no escape.
We have no choice but to press forward. Now then, let us go. As we talked among ourselves, we left the beach house and Mahiru's body. All right. Well, it's time for me to do my final bit of speculating. Once I get to Monokuma Rock, we'll go over the evidence. What did we do with Byakuya's body? I'm pretty sure that canonically, we just leave the bodies where they are until we do the class trial, at which point, after the class trial, Monokuma just removes the body unceremoniously. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I still have Haribo on my ice cream, even if it makes them extra chewy. Oh, that's so good. You know what I had recently that was really, really good? This is for the over 21 crowd here. I got some vanilla ice cream and then poured a little bit of amaretto over it. And that was really, really good. I never thought about that, but someone at my wedding suggested it, and I was like, That sounds excellent, and you know what? Yes, it was. Okay, so... time for us to go over the evidence. First, we're just gonna go piece by piece and see what we've got. Monokuma file number 2, Mahiru Koizumi, estimated time of death around 3 p.m. Scene of the crime is where the body was discovered. Cause of death is a single killing blow. No other external injuries, no drugs. The bloodstains on the floor had streaks leading to the roadside as if Mahiru had crawled through it. We know that she didn't crawl through it, which means she must have been dragged through it instead. Alcoholic ice cream stream when? So, fun fact, it is actually against Twitch's terms of service to drink alcohol to a dangerous extent. So if you get like blackout drunk on stream, that is actually a violation of TOS. With that said, boozy ice cream rocks. I had boozy ice cream once when I was having like major tooth pain, and it was fantastic. Oh, that's true. Yeah, in DR1, the bodies were put into the morgue. That's true. I kind of forgot about that. All right. The footprints were Saionji's. We know this. And noteworthy, these are the only sets of footprints. The metal bat was found at the crime scene. Due to the bloodstains coating it, it's believed to be the murder weapon. Empty water bottles. I think I know what this is for, but we'll come back to it. The anime girl mask. This is weird, man. This is so weird. And it really is making me... This is the only... one of two things that makes me think that it's Peko, which feels really far out there. The gummy candy was probably not Saionji. The beach shower is out of order and can't be used. The only window, which requires 2 people to access. The tipped over fish tank was found in the music room. Gravel and water were scattered everywhere. Broken window in the music room, in the case. This swimsuit is probably the most confusing piece of evidence for me so far. Unless it's gonna be one of those like really small pieces of evidence that's only used for like, hey, here's you know, the answer to a question. The photographs and the letter from the ending prize, which came from Kuzuryu. This photo of the 3 friends, the broken vase, Kuzuryu's sister, Sato, the gummy bag, which does not have a flavor that should be yellow. So this is telling me that Saionji was never in the closet. And whoever the killer was trying to make it look as if Saionji was in the closet. The letter on Mahiru. The more I think about it, the more I believe this is genuine. I was going to tell you in person, but I couldn't find you, so I put this in your mailbox. About what we discussed earlier, is it okay if we change the place and time? I want you to come to the beach house on the second island at 2:30 p.m. It seems there's someone who wants to interfere with our meeting. Let's keep it a secret. Until then, let's try not to see each other for a while. It would be bad if they started suspecting us for no reason. Now, what's the subject matter of this about? That's something I can't really begin to speculate on. I think I'm gonna need to wait for that to get revealed. Mahiru received a blow to the head and died instantly, and that is our answer. So that is everything. There's also sake Kit Kat if you want to try that. Yo, what? I would try that. Or some kind of alcoholic Kit Kat. I don't know if it was sake specifically. I'd give that a shot. My grandma puts vodka in her homemade ice cream recipe to prevent it from becoming icy in the freezer. I know someone who did that as well. All right. So, as with any murder, I think the best thing for me to do is go over my timeline of events. That is usually the best way for me to put my thoughts into place. So, at 2:30, I'm gonna add an at 2:30 section here. At 2:30, I meet with Kazuichi. Simultaneously, Mahiru goes to the beach house. Per the letter she received from Saionji. I'm putting that in quotes just because we don't know for certain, and it is very conspicuous to have the victim get a letter drawing them to the place where they are murdered. Like, that's a hell of a coincidence, you know? So at 2:30, Mahiru goes to the beach house to try to meet with Saionji. Let me read this letter one more time. Someone wants to interfere with our meeting. Let's keep it a secret. Until then, let's try not to see each other for a while. So my thinking right now is, let's assume that Mahiru and Saionji did meet at 2:30. Then let's assume that the someone who wanted to interfere showed up later. Perhaps they wanted to keep their meeting secret. And so when they were finished, they had Mahiru boost Saionji out of the room and into the window in the shower room. How tall are they combined? Do they equal 9 feet? 5'4" and 4'2". Yes, they meet it by half a foot. I think Nagito is the third person to discover the body. No, I still think it's Fuyuhiko, actually. All right, let's switch gears here. I'm gonna go crackpot theory and just follow this train of logic wherever it leads and see what happens. Crackpot theory, Peko Peko's the murderer, all right? Peko Peko was in the library with us when we were speaking to Sonia about Shining Justice. Where is my notes on that? Sparkling Justice. Here we go. So, Sparkling Justice is a serial killer who calls themselves the Ally of Justice. That's the only notes that I took, but I'm pretty sure we learned about the mask thing at the same time. So, Peko Peko gets the idea to pretend that she is this Ally of Justice figure. Then, Peko Peko somehow becomes aware of Saionji and Mahiru meeting. And so she procures the pretty anime girl mask and goes to the meeting place and murders Mahiru. Then she takes one of the surfboards and she leaves and she goes swimming. And I took also in my notes here, hold up. She was one of the last people to arrive, having just swam for 3 hours. Is there anything that directly contradicts the possibility of her being the murderer. The only thing is the specifics about the murder of Sato and Fuyuhiko's sister, because she doesn't know about that based on any evidence that we have. There's no reason that Peko Peko should know about this. Maybe she happened to overhear Fuyuhiko and Mahiru talking about it? Or afterwards, Mahiru told Saionji about it, and Fuyuhiko didn't have anything to do with it, and Peko Peko thought she was going to be able to frame Fuyuhiko by making it look like a murder that Fuyuhiko had committed in the past. Or something. Giggles while eating ice cream and spoilers. Man, I want ice cream. Maybe I'll get ice cream, to be honest. Honestly, I don't hate this theory. It feels kind of crackpot, but I don't hate it. So then what happens? Let's pretend that at 3 o'clock, Mahiru is killed. By Peko Peko. Peko Peko then leaves. She uses the water bottles to hide her own footsteps in the sand, and then yeets out via the ocean side. Then 3 people show up. First person is Fuyuhiko. But Fuyuhiko's... Okay, nope, I've got it. I get it. I think I get it. Fuyuhiko goes in... Okay, I think I've got it. Fuyuhiko goes in via the roadside door and sees the body and just leaves. And is just like, I'm done, bye, gone. It doesn't interact with the crime scene at all. Saionji returns later, having, like, literally 10 minutes later, according to my notes. Now, this is an approximation, but it was not very long. Saionji comes in later, enters through the roadside door, and sees that Mahiru is dead. She already knows everything about the murder game, and so she stages the room. She drags Mahiru to the door and props her up against the roadside door and frames Fuyuhiko, maybe, and then runs out the beachside door. That is why, even though 3 people have discovered the body, only 1 set of footprints leading out works. Okay? So then Soda shows up, and the body is discovered by a 3rd person, and thus the announcement plays. By the way, these trials are as long as you saw in Trial 1, so if you feel like it gets late and you need to rest, don't be shy. I think I can make it through tonight. I got a lot of rest today. I slept until 11 o'clock a.m. and then took an hour nap later, so I'm good. Work was canceled today for me because of the hurricane. To be honest, that was a mistake. My bosses totally could have kept us open, but whatever. I'm not gonna complain. Also, I had a call from somebody offering me a job today, so it was kind of nice to not be at work when that happened, and I got to sit down and, spend 20 minutes negotiating with them. So, pretty nice that I didn't have to work at that time. Serendipity strikes on occasion. I'm gonna have a final answer on that tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna get out of Florida. Maybe it's finally gonna happen. I'm kind of confident, to be honest. Like I said, I never expect anything, but if they come back at me with a decent offer, I think it's gonna work. Anyway, back to theories. I really don't think that it can have possibly been Saionji or Fuyuhiko. So let's keep going with this theory then. If Saionji was never in the closet, then it's somebody who... Okay, yeah. Okay, it's coming together. Saionji did not write this. Saionji absolutely did not write this. The killer wrote this and gave it to Mahiru and hid in the closet. Mahiru goes to the place and is just waiting there. And then the killer pops out, bashes her on the skull. She dies instantly. The killer plants a gummy bear to make it look as if it was Saionji who did it. And that's why Saionji shows up later and freaks out. Okay. So what is the deal with the window? Perhaps the window isn't going to matter, and perhaps we're only going to use this to disprove the possibility of someone leaving via that means. Mom, Tom Hanks won't come out of the closet. Is that... Oh, no, that's not the Saturday Night Live skit. That's Smash Mouth, right? In the closet? Okay, so... What evidence does not support this theory so far? I think I got it, guys. I'm feeling really good about where I'm at. The only problem is, how would Peko know? Now, one could also conclude that it was Sonia, but I don't think it was Sonia. Like, Sonia was in the wetsuit, and there's wetsuits in that closet, but she arrived dry. I just don't think it's Sonia. I can't see it being Sonia. And Sonia was too hands-on in this investigation too. So I'm thinking that Peko somehow learned the truth. Maybe it was because she overheard it. Maybe it's because she played the game herself. Somehow she figures out the truth. And that's what sets this in motion. So what's the point of posing her like the game? I think that has to have been Saionji who did it. And I think that Saionji probably did it because she is under the mistaken conclusion that it was Fuyuhiko who killed Mahiru. I think she thinks that Fuyuhiko did it, and she posed the body that way in order to draw a deliberate parallel to say, look, this is exactly like that. And we know that that was Fuyuhiko. Even if Fuyuhiko is not a culprit from a meta standpoint, it would be very stupid not to press him about his involvement and jump on the Hiyoko culprit theory. How do you mean? You mean in character from, like, Hajime's point of view? Because, as we recall, Chiaki is going to do that. Chiaki is going to, like, press Hiyoko. But why not just say that? Why try to imply it? Because presumably the two of them were talking about something secret, which Peko found out about, or something. I mean, obviously she's trying to hide something. And I can't really begin to guess what it is she's trying to hide. So, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. Is this a crackpot theory? Yes. Do I thrive on crackpot theories? Also yes. No! Let me go! Help me! He's gonna do something crazy to me! I'll be ruined!
Why you?
Hey, shut up and stay put, you stubborn little Lolita!
Stop it!
Stop harassing little girls.
This is... What's going on?
Hyoko was trying to run away, so Monokuma brought her here by force. But Hyoko's still trying to run away, so Monokuma's trying to wrap her in a full Nelson.
Hey, if you don't stay put, I'm gonna make you a part of this island's food chain.
Unbelievable.
Jeez, making me waste my sweet ass time. But there's another problem to deal with besides this one. Where the heck is Fuyuhiko? That guy, he totally ditched. He totally ditched my appointment. He pisses me off.
Nekokuma?
Yeah, his anger changed his form.
I'm right here. This is the most blurst thing that I have ever seen in my life. This is genuinely terrifying, but in the best possible way.
Fuyuhiko, you came. I was worried about you.
There's nowhere for me to run anyway, so no matter the ending, I have to accept it, right? But still, I'm a Yakuza. Accepting defeat is not an option. Fuyuhiko, what does that mean?
Well, it's all good. If the trial heats up, it's all
Anyway,
good. Looks like everyone's here, so let us depart now.
see ya later!
Then seeing Buff Monokuma would.
I'll go first and be one step ahead of you guys.
This is bad.
Crap. I'm not mentally prepared yet.
Like,
Do you even have to prepare?
Show some spirit!
If you don't have enough power, harness your latent energy. Come on, bring out that energy!
This, too, must be the will of causality.
So it begins. The beginning of the end.
Now then, let's keep our spirits high, so we can one day find that shining hope. That's right. Moving forward is the only option. Alright, time to talk to everybody left to right.
You should be honored.
It's nearly showtime!
Man, Gundam's gonna die in Chapter 3, isn't he?
A mere human such as yourself will be present to witness the beginning of the end.
I believe in you. If everyone works together, you should be able to stand against any despair.
alrighty!
I will definitely help you out. I have nothing to do with this.
Sure you don't. What are you dilly-dallying for? Come on, let's hurry up and go.
Then,
Let's go. There's no reason for us to waste time here.
listen!
The truth behind Mahiru's death. Sparkling justice may hold the key. No, that just has to be it.
'Cause it's bad.
Let's go. We can't forgive the killer. This class trial stuff again. So this time we gotta figure out who killed Mahiru, huh? I don't get complicated stuff, so I'll leave this to you guys.
If you don't unleash your power here, where else are you gonna unleash it? Do you want to avenge Mahiru's death?
Yes, I do. Very much.
What the?
Monokuma changed forms. Color me surprised.
Hey!
Could he be the type to awaken hidden powers when he gets angry?
He's a stuffed animal, right?
Damn it!
I'm not mentally prepared yet. I don't think I'll ever be.
But we can't just stand around all day.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Mahiru. Why did Mahiru... This is impossible.
I'm a Yakuza. I won't run or hide. Alright, Mount Monokuma more. You know, that animation could use a little touch-up.
No matter how many times I see it, it's such bad taste. The worst, the lowest, most brutal taste.
Somehow I moved my muscles, stiff from fear and nerves, and awkwardly walked onto the escalator. For some reason, my breathing was short, and I was eventually struck by a feeling similar to dizziness. The moment all of us were inside Monokuma Rock. A rumbling sound filled the room, and the surrounding space began to fall. As it shook with a clatter, the elevator we were inside continued to drop. Throughout that drop, I was fluctuating between feeling hope and despair, as if my heart was a rotten fruit swelling in the sun before it finally goes squish. I suddenly stopped breathing. My consciousness began to fade from the pressure. I tried to endure the pressure by firmly standing on my legs, and after a while, the elevator's vibrations gradually weakened. And then it stopped altogether. Aim! Defeat the boring routine.
So,
I've decided to start redecorating. How's it look? Mr. Monokuma's redecoration is awesome, isn't it?
impossible!
It's not like I'd allow you to think otherwise anyway.
That is...
To go to the trouble of doing something this elaborate. Really, what is your true intention?
No!
Nothing really. Essentially, this killing game is just to kill time anyway. Kill time?
Yeah!
To break away from my purpose. That alone is my purpose.
Like...
A purpose is only going to be a weakness. Those who have purpose are always the weakest ones in the bunch. That's why you guys should forget about such cheap-ass purposes like trying to survive. And enjoy the class trial from the bottom of your hearts. It's starting. The class trial is starting. Mahiru Koizumi, the ultimate photographer. She had an unyielding force of personality, but she was actually very good at taking care of people. Most importantly, she was always straightforward. The person that killed her is among us? I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it, but... Regardless, we need to find the answer. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. Because it's the only way. Aside from finding out who the killer is, there's no other way for us to survive. And so, this life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair has begun. Alright, investigation phase over. The elevator's slowly getting emptier, yep. Alright guys, you know the drill. I'll be back in a few minutes, and then we will start the trial. I'll see you soon. Hey guys, I have reassessed and I think I've decided I'm going to go ahead and actually wrap it up here tonight. So sorry for changing it up on you, but I'm going to be a responsible adult. I have some things that I need to take care of, and it's best if I just go ahead and call it an evening here. So I'll go ahead and refund that hydrate thing because my water is still empty. I didn't get an opportunity to fill it. But I do need to wrap up for tonight. So next stream is going to be either Saturday or Sunday. I'll keep the Discord updated. I'm not sure exactly what time, but sometime on the weekend we will wrap up this trial. So thank you all very much for being here. Thank you for your patience. I love y'all, and I will see you in a couple of days. In the meantime, be kind to one another, be kind to yourselves, be safe. As always, my friends, peace out. Good night, y'all.